Hey gang, today we're going to do Doobie Wah from Frampton Comes Alive, and I've had a lot of requests for this one, especially lately. So we're going to do the whole thing. We're going to do the funky riff, we're going to do the bridge, we're going to do the main riff, and of course we're going to do the solo and many of the fills. So first I do the demo, and I'm doing it without any other instrumentation. Um, it's pretty long. The demo itself is like 4.5 minutes long. So if you want to, you can go ahead and skip that to just the instruction. But I'll put in some links on that. Of course, I'll have the tab for you. You want to probably download that one to make your life easier. And if you like it, click the like button, and of course, subscribe if you haven't yet. Without further ado, here's Doobie Wah. We'd like to get a bit funky now. This one's called Doobie Wah. Gang, let's go over this note for note. Peter Frampton's homage to the Doobie Brothers. All right, first of all, let's cover the sound briefly. Now, what I'm trying to do here is, yeah, it's Bob Mayo on the guitar, Bob Mayo, not keyboards. He's playing the rhythm, and for that reason, I'm using the Strat, because he played that. I believe he played that cool-looking Strat that was on the inside cover of the album. Anyway, it was cool-looking Strat, cool photo. So what I've got is, it looks like a humbucker guitar, and it is, but this has a special coil tap in one of these positions where I'm playing only this single coil and this, so it has a Stratty type of sound. So it gets that sort of quack. And then I can flip on the humbucker to get Frampton's sound. And that's what I'm trying to do anyway. To finish up the Comes Alive type sound, I'm adding a little bit of chorus, a little bit of reverb, and a little bit of delay, and hopefully that gives me enough of that sound. Now, to go over this, there are so many different parts. This would be about a 2-hour-long video if I did all of it note for note. I'm going to rely on the tab to help, so you'll definitely want to download that to get it. Of course, this is the live version, which I think is far better than the studio version. For one thing, it's quite a bit faster, which is nice, which does give that funky flavor. Okay, so first of all, let's go over the main chords, and then I think we'll do a couple of the other parts. So the main chords are this right here, the intro and the main chords. Right? That's that part. Now, very funky sounding for sure. To do that, basically we're playing all major chords with a third in the bass. And so imagine, like, the first chord is a C. The song is in E, but the first chord starts out in C. Imagine playing that C chord with the root on the fifth, and we're just playing the 5, 4, and 3 strings. But instead of playing that root on the fifth, you're going to play to the third. So instead of playing that, you're going to play the third on the bass. And instead of just playing the third, you're going to hammer to that third from the second. So you're playing 5, 5, 5, and hammer on the fifth string to the 7th fret. Okay? Now slide up 2 and play a D. Then an E flat, and then finally an E. Now that little part right there is basically an A triad, and you're hammering on from the E triad, which is, now this is on 4, 3, and 2 strings. You're playing the triad, you're barring at the 9th fret, and then you're hammering on to the 11th on the 4th, 10th on the 2nd, leaving the 3rd alone. So like this. Okay, and that's an A triad. Very Stones type of maneuver. Very Keith Richards type of maneuver. And that's that. Now in the main part of the song, which is like this. That's the second part. The first time through, it's just the A chord, then back to E. The second time through, it's playing an A chord, then sliding up 2 frets and playing that B chord. Same form. So you're going to bar at the 11th instead of the 9th, play the 13th on the 4th, 12th on the 2nd, and on the 3rd, you're just going to leave it alone at the 11th. So, and then back to your E with the 3rd on the bass hammered on. Okay, so that's basically the chorus. Now I'm going to or the verse. I'm going to play that very slowly so you can see it. most of it. Now, in the very beginning, there's a vamp that's going from the E chord to the A chord and back and forth, like so. And Frampton plays his first solo. So let's go over that solo. I've labeled it first solo in the tab. Now the first solo is best thought of in E major. Okay, so here it is right here. So we're going to play, basically it's all in this part of the scale right here. So if we're playing an E major scale in the 9th position, it would be like so. So it's basically all in that. Here we go now. Here's the solo. So, the only thing that's kind of different about that, all pretty straightforward, all E major scale, and the only thing that's a little bit different about that is, and it's also a very Frampton line, is that sort of syncopated last line. Plays it in a syncopated fashion. So to understand that, I'm going to play it a little bit faster so you get that. Very, very cool, very expressive type of thing. All right, so that's the opening solo. And by the way, I did shift into the humbucking pickup for that. I'm going to flip it back to play the rhythm again. So it starts out by playing. You've already learned that. Okay, so you do that a couple times, and let's go over those chords. F sharp minor, G sharp minor, F sharp minor, the B. Okay, so it's those are the chords basically. Now I'm playing an F sharp minor the following way. I'm playing on the second, on the 6th string second, on the 4th string second, on the 3rd string second. I'm not playing the 5th string, and I'm leaving the top 2 strings open so I get that ringing sound. Okay, and you can either arpeggiate it or not, however you want to play it. All right, and then shift that all up 2 frets and do the same thing. You're keeping exactly the same form with the 2 top strings open. Now back to F. And now this maneuver right here. Okay, so that's just a B on the 5th string. We're playing on the 2nd. Slide up from the 4th to the 6th. Play the 4th on the 4th, and the B again. And then play what are called fourths. So I'm playing on the 4th and 3rd string. I'm playing 4/4. Slide up to 6/6. Sounds kind of weird if you're lingering on it, but of course you don't linger on that. You just play it. Go back. All right. Second time through, it's F sharp minor, G sharp minor, C, D, back to your E. Okay. on the train is this little funky part. So I'm playing a couple of different forms there. The first one that I'm doing right here, neat little chords, is it's kind of like a D6 ninth. So with the here's the a G. No, it's kind of like an E ninth chord. And what I'm doing is a D ninth chord, and I'm playing on the top two strings. On 1 and 2 I'm playing 10. On 3 and 4 I'm playing 9. Then just slide that up 1, and then 1 more. Okay. Keep a loose wrist on that one to get that funky flavor. Okay, second time through I'm playing this. If you don't want to learn a new chord, that's cool. You can just play the same thing you did the first time. But I am playing something slightly different. The ninth chord that's based like this. So here's the D. Here's the one in D. I'm playing on the 4th string. I'm playing 10. 3rd string playing 9. 2nd string playing 7. It's a bit of a stretch. And then on the 1st string playing 10 again. Slide up 1. Slide up another one to get to E. Alright, now, if you don't like any of that stuff, you can just play what Bob Mayo did on the record, and that was this. He plays a D ninth, to a D sharp ninth, to an E ninth. Notice how I'm sliding into that, too. Okay? Second time through, he plays this. Okay, now that is he's approaching it from the first time he approached the E ninth chord from below, second time from above. From below he's going D, D sharp, E. Second time through he's playing basically an F ninth to an E ninth, but he's playing a 13th along the way. So he plays an F13, F9, E9. Now that 13 is a simplified version, is playing on the 4th string you play a 7, 3rd string and 2nd string you'll play an 8, 1st string you'll play a 10. Now you simply lift up that 10 to get your 9th. So you're playing 7, 8, 8, 8. Very cool sound. And you can tell yourself that it's the 13th by counting it out. An F major scale, here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go, 13th chord. Etc. All right. Well, we've come a long way to play the solo, but now let's check out the solo. So for this one, I kick it back onto the humbucker, and I kick on just a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of overdrive. Not much at all, just enough to give me just a little bit of an edge, and so forth. So let's play it chunk by chunk. The first one, the opening is this. Here's the first chunk. Love that. Love how it's just so full and raw and a little bit of dissonance there too. So it's a bunch of double stops. Again, let me play it slowly. Starting here with a unison on the 5th, on the 2nd, and an open E string. Again, rely on the tab to tell you exactly what's going on there. Otherwise, this video is going to be forever. Here's the second chunk. Oops. All right, so it starts out on arpeggiating those double stops that we did the first time, sliding up to the first one, and then arpeggiating going downward. That's a D. Here's A. D again, or a D/G. A. One more time. Here's the. Chunk. I'm just going to get back into it. I should point out that this solo right here, once he's done with that first part, since we've gone from an E major to a funkier sound, which is a 7th chord, he's going to be able to get away with a blues scale instead. So we're going to shift to basically, you know, one of the ways that you could handle it if you were just playing it. Frampton plays a number of different scales, a number of different lines, but one way that you could handle it was going from a major pentatonic now to a minor pentatonic or a blues scale, so also playing an E. He's going to, as we'll find out, he's going to play a bit of a Dorian mode, a bit of a Mixolydian mode, a bit of a blues scale, whatever, but they're all sort of more raunchy flavored than just a major pentatonic, or just a major scale, okay? So here's the next part. Definitely more raunchy than just that major scale. So here's the first part, standard sort of line. Here's the hardest line of the song. That's a real hard line. You've got to play it quickly. I'm hammering on and off to the 15th, and playing the 15th on the 2nd, and you got to play the 15th on the 1st, which is kind of tough. And then you also have to do a little bit of string skipping, so that's a little bit tough. Okay, now walking down on the blues scale. Okay, here's the next line. That is a neat and a tough line, but it's very Frampton. One more time, slowly. Okay, here's the next part. Okay, here's the next line. Okay, now this one starts out by hammering on. You're just going to outline an E chord. So it's a major minor type of thing. This is typical Mixolydian. So you're playing from the on the 3rd. You're playing from the 12th, hammering on to the 13th, and then walking up the E Mixolydian scale to basically the what is this? The 14th fret on the top string, and then bending. You're bending up basically a whole step. gently walking up, and here we're taking more of a major flavor, bending full on the 17th fret, first string. E major triad. Okay, that's a bend on a 19th on the second. You're doing it a bunch of times, and then on the last time you're smearing it up just a little bit. You can smear it up 2 frets or even a 3. It still sounds good. Ending on this unison where we're playing the 2nd on the 5th, and we're leaving that open E string. At this point, I kick off the overdrive, and this is when the band starts coming in and it's quiet again. So they've stopped going from the and they're going to the main riff. Okay. The first time he's playing a fill that's like this. Pretty simple. Again, now we've gone back to an E major tonality from the little bit harsher tonality of an E7th type of chord, right? So instead of playing an E7th type of chord, which lends itself to Mixolydian, Dorian, or even minor pentatonic or blues scale, we're now playing back in the major tonality. Okay, so here's the. So that one's simply walk up and down the scale from E. Okay, second one is this. Octave. Here we're playing the 9th. On the 3rd string, on the 1st string, we're playing a 12th. So 3 of those octaves. Okay, third time around, it's this. Same lick as before. Okay, and then just same chords as before, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp minor. These are all minor chords. Then the B. C, D. Now this first false ending. So that simply is a B, and then A to an open E. Then back to the B. Now a G, A, back to your open E. Now the end part happens on this C, D. Now your chord again, B, A to an open E, G, A, E. And now the last part, D, B, A, G. You're playing that hard, or a long time, and you can suspend it just a little bit by playing the C on the 2nd string, 1st fret. That goes on for a long time on the record to an E. And that's the end of the song. Wow. That was probably the longest lesson I've done. Certainly a long time. A lot of parts to it. Please rely on the tab, and hopefully this gave you enough of the flavor to really get it. Thanks for a bunch of people for suggesting it, for giving me all that work to do, buddy. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on down the road. Bye-bye.